Now let's join Mark Avera as he speaks with Alachua County Sheriff Sadie Darnell about the Teen Driving Challenge.
Good afternoon, Sheriff. I invited you here today to talk to our listeners a little bit because I now have a 15-year-old who now has a learner's permit, and by chance I learned of a program that your department has that helps teen drivers learn some things about driving that might one day save their life. Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely, Mark, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I started this program several months ago. It's called the Teen Driving Challenge. It's open to teenagers from age 15 to 19, and it came about through the Florida Sheriff's Association. I saw it at the first conference I went to as sheriff, loved it, was really impacted by it, came back and said, we've got to do this. Got it up and running, got some folks who are certified as instructors, and we're now doing it for free. And the training is done out at the police academy on the actual driving range that law enforcement officers use. It's a 12-hour course. First 4 hours is in the classroom, and then the next day on a Saturday, 8 hours actually out on the range with law enforcement driving instructors one-on-one. And the children, teenagers I should say, learn some really wonderful evasive techniques, recovery skills, and things they would normally know about or ever get in driver's ed.
I can't tell you how many times people have come to us and kids have been injured from not wearing seat belts or dropping a tire off the roadway and snatching the wheel and flipping the vehicle, and that's just a deadly recipe. What do you offer in this course that is a little bit different that they would not get in driver's ed through school?
Driver's ed it teaches some very good skills. It's the basic level driving skills. What our course does, and again it's for free, and it's offered to everyone as long as they have the parents authorization and they have a driver's license, either the restricted or the permit to get going. And they use their own car too. That's the other piece of this. They actually use their own car so they get familiar with it, comfortable with it, more confidence. But what they learn are recovery skills, say if they go off the roadway, how to recover from that, how not to overreact. They go out on a skid pan where the roadway is wet. They learn how to maneuver through that. They do serpentine types of exercises so they can dodge an obstacle in the roadway. It's done so that it's a very intensive one-on-one training for them so that it becomes second nature to them. These are lifelong skills that truly will save their life later down the road.
Now, when they engage in these exercises out on the skid pan, these are law enforcement officers who are certified as an instructor that are actually riding with them?
Absolutely. They stay with them. Like I said, it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio, but when they're in the car learning the particular skill, they're teamed up and that instructor is in the car with them, coaching them along. It's done from the standpoint that at first, the teenagers are a bit intimidated, and actually they come in the first night on Friday pretty cocky, like, what can you teach me? There's nothing I don't know and I don't need this. Some of them actually resent being there. By the end of the next day, they're thanking their parents. I've gotten emails from teenagers who've gone through the course thanking me for offering this course. Parents, for the first time, their teenager is actually saying, thank you for teaching me something. They're just so impressed by it. But the children get confidence. They understand the vehicle and how dangerous it is, that it is truly a weapon, and they've got to be defensive in their driving. The other component to it is that we're teaching them about the safety checks, the tire inflation, the mechanics of the vehicle, so that they can watch for those kinds of things and maintain their vehicle in a safe way, and then learn how to operate it in the safest manner as possible.
Briefly, on the Friday night before they go out the next day on the skid pan, what kind of information do your guys give them in that Friday evening session?
Well, they talk about, the basic overview of the course so they know what to expect. They talk to them from the standpoint of this is a no-fail type of situation. As long as they're receptive and they're engaged in the course, they will pass. So it's not going to be something that they're going to feel intimidated about. Then we offer the very sobering statistics that teenagers' #1 cause of death for them in our nation are traffic crashes. That when teenagers are in a car with another teenager, that ups the ante almost 5 times. So if you've got 2 teenagers, it's awful statistics. And we see that the #1 population group in our nation for not wearing seatbelts falls within that same age group, 15 to 19. So we're seeing a real deterioration in driving respect, driving skills, and driving awareness. And so that 4-hour block is a kind of sobering message to them of how real this situation is for their population group.
If somebody wants to enroll their teenager, whether the teenager wants to come or not, how do they go about contacting your department and enrolling their teenager in the course?
They can go to our website, which is www.alachuasheriff.org. They can contact our administrative number in our communications center, 955-1818, and ask to be transferred over to our training division. It is a free course. Again, it's free, and we've got people booked up already until October. So the lists are growing from the interest, and we really appreciate being able to get the word out.
All right, and so they need a car, they need a learner's permit or driver's license. The course is free. What else do they need to go, briefly?
We need to have, them to have access to a vehicle.
Authorization from the parent.
Authorization from the parent, and they'll be given all those forms. They'll either be sent those in the mail or they can pick them up, whichever is their preference. If they don't have a car, we don't want that to be an eliminator either. We prefer that they drive their own car so they get familiar with it. But if someone doesn't have a car, we'll offer one through one of our seized vehicles.
Great. Sheriff, thank you so much for giving us some time today.
Thank you, Mark.